John Elway Show. Coming up this morning at 8 on Denver's Sports Station 102.3. Now
Okay,
more
guys, the leggy is ready.
CBS 4's Vic and Gary.
And you guys are back.
John Elway does join us at 8 o'clock this morning. We're taking your texts for John. If we use your text, you'll win the $100 gift certificate to Elway's at Cherry Creek. Text us your questions for John, 70236. We are joined by Mr. Football. He invented football many years ago. Our friend Jeff Legwold from the Denver Post. Leggy, if John Elway condescended to speak with you this morning, as he will with us, what would you ask him?
Oh, Gary, I'd be interested to know why the team sort of quietly told everybody who listened that Tim Tebow was the number 3 quarterback and then went in as the number 2 yesterday.
We'll ask him. Ooh. Great question. Very nice.
Ooh, you think there's...
You are eligible.
That's the question I would ask.
You are eligible for the gift certificate to Elway's in Cherry Creek, but you have to take me.
Yeah, so you think they were influenced by higher forces there? What happened?
I don't know what happened there. I'd be interested to know. I'd be interested in somebody telling the truth, I guess. I really am frustrated with the team sort of quietly telling everybody, and they can say it was the chef or whoever, but they told everybody Elway was the number 3.
Well, my Sports Life partner's been saying that, and I've been wondering where he got it from, because they didn't tell me that. They didn't tell me anything about that sort of thing. But a lot of people did kind of believe that was the situation. Clearly it was not.
Well, the players believed it too, because that's how they practice much of the time. I mean, a lot of this is coming from the locker room. A lot of this is coming from upstairs in their building. It's the message that was put out there, which happens at times. But, they made an emotional decision, and, I think they just thought it was time, and I think much like last year, the fear of empty seats in Denver, Colorado overrides football decisions sometimes.
Jeffrey, you were at the game like the rest of us. I mean, emotional decisions aside, sometimes, and I'm not saying that they're acquiescing to the fans necessarily, but sometimes your team...
There's no question. They acquiesced to the fans.
Well, how about acquiescing to their own team, who all of a sudden played with a little more spunk? How about players both on offense and defense who suddenly started making plays that were nowhere to be found or seen earlier in the game? I'm not saying that the reason they made the plays is because Tebow's in the... But he obviously fed into it.
You are saying that.
He fed into the frenzy.
You are saying that.
Oh, yes, I'm saying it.
You're saying it.
Yes, I'm saying it. I'm saying that one player can make a difference on both sides of the ball. One player can change the tune of confidence on both sides of the ball. We saw it yesterday. So what's wrong with that?
I don't believe that. I don't believe one player changes the confidence of an... I mean, did the defense's confidence go up when they benched Von Miller?
I'll tell you what the defense did. After he scored a touchdown to cut it to 8, the defense all of a sudden figured, hey, if we make a play here, we have a chance to tie this game. Lo and behold, Robert Ayers makes a play. They're back in the game. It's much easier for a defense to make a play when they're down by 8 than when they're down by 20 and the game's over, and it's a funereal type of feeling as it was in the first half. See how quiet it was in the first half? It was like a Sunday night at the Legwold house.
Exactly, which means they should have been just getting it done then. But, I don't know. I honestly don't believe, inserting one player. If that was true, then Mario Hagan should have raised the level of defense. They benched Von Miller.
Different position, Jeff.
They benched Kyle Orton.
Jeff, you're not. I mean, I'm not going to use the line I always use on Gary, but clearly you've never played the game at the collegiate intramural level. If there's one position that's different from most, it's the quarterback position. I don't care what the starting outside linebacker brings to the table. I don't care about the right tackle. You obviously do. A quarterback impacts the entire team. Come on, Jeff. How long have you been watching football? It's pretty obvious.
Yeah, long enough to know that you give up 200 yards rushing. I don't care who's playing quarterback or what they're doing. You're not going to win.
All right, Leggy, what happened to Von Miller yesterday? He seemed out of it.
Well, they didn't like what he did on the early series, and then put him on the bench. I think they're basically trying to teach him a lesson about being a professional. He had a couple of busted assignments, it looked like, and they put him down the rest of the day in the base defense and then let him play in the pass rush situation.
Okay, late in the game, the final play of the game, have you looked at the tape? Did you think it should have been a PI against San Diego on Matthew Willis or an illegal contact? Should there have been a penalty on that play?
I don't know. In the scrum down there, I think they could have called everybody for something, probably. But, I think end of game situation, they're going to let that go most of the time.
It looked like
looked
like a guy two-hand shoved him out of bounds. Like
he shoved Matt Willis literally 3 feet out of bounds.
There's no question. But Matthew's probably jockeying for position there too.
Yeah.
Again, you don't see that flag come out on the last play very often. You see sometimes, they get the ball at the 1. The Titan game last year, the Jets game here. It does occur, but with 1 second on the clock, I'm not sure I've ever seen the flag come out no matter what happened down there.
The other call I thought was cheesy was the DJ Williams personal foul in that situation. I mean, it cost the Broncos some time. It may have cost them a minute.
You can't headbutt a guy. You cannot headbutt a guy.
Okay.
If he'd have shoved him, they probably would have let it go. But the fact he used his helmet to make helmet-to-helmet contact, they're flagging that every time.
But Jeff, the guy got in his face. It's not like he went and sought him out to headbutt him. The guy was in his face. He was in his jock. And all of a sudden, he just moved his head. I mean,
wait a second. Was he in his face or in his jock? Which was
that's a term I use.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I
was confused there.
Now, you can't, helmet-to-helmet's just not going to happen. And, that was a big play. It was a huge play.
All right, Leggy, let's talk about your assessment of Tebow's performance yesterday.
Well, I think people got what you expected. He's going to move around. He's going to try and run and keep plays alive, and he's going to be tough to tackle at times. But his challenge is going to be moving forward when people take that part of his game away from him. Eventually, they're going to pinch the ends up the field, and they're not going to let him get out. So he's going to have to figure out a way to be more comfortable in the pocket. And I think even with the limited times he threw yesterday, he's still on his back foot a lot and all those things. But now's his time to work that stuff out. They've said they've now told us all they're going to live with the growing pains and see what happens.
How about on the 2-point conversion? Rich Gannon said had they not been in the shotgun there, the ball would have been released sooner. I mean, the ball was right on target to
Gannon
Brandon
was
Lloyd.
drunk.
Do you buy that? I mean, had they not been in the shotgun, the ball would have been there sooner?
Oh, I always buy it. Then it's a 3-step drop instead of the ball, coming to you in the gun. It takes a little longer.
I think you're drunk too.
2 seconds make a difference on that play. I don't know, but Gannon played quarterback a long time. I think it is a valid point. It's more that when he does release the ball, he's leaning back.
Understand, but
he's fading backward.
Watch the game. Watch the tape. The ball is there. I don't care how it gets there.
He's just saying it would have been there sooner.
No. Listen.
Okay.
Listen. I don't care if Tim Tebow receives the ball in a shotgun, does a backflip, and throws the ball with his elbow. If the ball is there when Lloyd makes his break, the ball is there. It was in his hands. You guys are so concerned.
No, he should have caught the ball.
Everybody's so worried about the process in which to get the ball there. All I care about is the ball there. It was there. Leggy?
Well, by your logic, then, he lost the game by 5 points. All that matters is winning or losing, you're saying.
Oh, no, we're into entertainment. You know that. We're into showbiz.
Actually, Leggy, he didn't lose the game by 5 points because when he entered the game, he was down by 13, so he won the game by 8.
Okay,
Sixth grade math.
I look forward to your coverage of the Broncos in the future months. Then.
The Broncos' victory yesterday over the San Diego Chargers in Vic's mind. There's no way, right, that he doesn't start in Miami. I mean, John Fox said he's got to look at the tape. They got to talk it over, but they can't possibly decide anything else, can they?
I don't know. I've given up trying. What they say and what they do are two different things. So I'll just leave it to see what they do in public here. But what they've done is not what they said they were going to do. So I don't know that they. Maybe they have a plan here, maybe they don't. I don't know. But I'll be interested to see now how they express all this to all of us.
Leggy, what is going on with the Bronco receivers? Brandon Lloyd, for much of the game, seemed out of it. Eric Decker, not really a danger yesterday, had a couple of catches. I mean, the wideouts are not exactly getting the job done.
No, and again, this is going to be, an issue if they try and work Tebow into this offense moving forward. They got to be able to get the ball down the field some, or everybody's going to be piled along the line of scrimmage. And I know an awful lot of personnel people that say, Brandon Lloyd, has yet to show he can consistently be the guy he was last year all the time, and that the talent's always been there. And Brandon's challenge now is to do that all the time, and they don't see it. Other teams, personnel people don't see it, and they don't see the Broncos with an impact player down the field right now, and that's going to be tough for Tim. If people can play with 8 players, 7-8 players up on the line of scrimmage, it's going to be tougher for Tim to play quarterback.
Jeff, we know how much we love you.
Are you babysitting Shannon Sharp's
I was going to
dogs?
say, you and Shannon Sharp in the kennels.
You have a dog? I didn't know you had a dog.
We got a lot of action here at the house.
When did that happen? Because I know the kids were desperate for a dog, and you kept saying no.
Well, the dog was number 3, but I moved him up to 1 yesterday. He's now the lead family dog.
The dog's not making the necessary plays.
It's unbelievable.
Hey.
Dog will not listen to coaching, that's for sure.
Leggy, thanks. We always love talking
Take care,
to
bud.
You guys are the best. See ya.
All right.
Jeff Legwold from the Denver Post. Hey, here's the deal. Most football people agree with Leggy.
Well, because most football guys are simply convention guys.
No, but they know what it takes to get it done over the long run, and they know what's been successful and what's not been successful.
Well, all due respect to Jeff and most football people, if most football people ran the league, we'd never see change. We'd be doing 3 yards in a cloud of dust. We'd be running the Green Bay Packer offense for 4 decades. That's what we would never see any innovation.
That was a good offense.
Understood, but there's something called innovation and change.
Except
maybe someday you'll catch up.
We've had quarterbacks who mainly tried to use their legs.
Not one like this. Have you ever seen a 240-pound scrambling quarterback? Was Jared Lorenzen, who weighed 270 pounds, was he a scrambling quarterback? No. All right, this is the closest thing to a big quarterback who can scramble. Name me another big quarterback. Ben Roethlisberger comes to mind, but he's not nearly as fast as Tim Tebow. I want a big quarterback, a linebacker body who can run the ball.
So
name one.
He gets hit in the head. All that talk's not going to help.
Can you name one, Zach? Name a big quarterback who can run.
Freeman, maybe? Not really.
He didn't run.
He's not much of a runner.
Yeah, I'm talking about a guy
Size-wise?
a big guy who can
Not a
run.
lot.
This is a 240-pounder who can run. So innovation and convention aside, throw convention. I don't care about convention. I don't care. Let the kid play his game. But in the end, if you gave me the choice between his game and Andrew Luck, end of story. Hello, Stanford.
720-747-1023, the phone number. Again, your text for Elway at 70236. If we use yours, you get the $100 gift certificate to Elway's at Cherry Creek. We'll come back, take your calls, get to John at 8 o'clock this morning. Rich Gannon at 8:30. Interesting Monday morning. Vic and Gary, 1023 The Ticket.
1023 The Ticket.
A great thing happened in my life. The Broncos finally won a Super Bowl.
Hey, guys, we'll have Brent Ivinson at the end of this break.
He's a legend.
Let's have a good period, huh?
Lucky number 7.
All the way back across the field.
Hall of Famer.
And this one's for every Bronco fan out there.
And after a record 1,002 phone calls,